Unmute everything. Alright. Hit him with the... And we're on. Wait, are we on?
Sabu.
Sabu! Yeah! Alright. Let's get this cooking. Welcome to another episode of Recap. Today we are recapping AEW Dynamite of June 14th, 2023. It is currently June 16th, 2023, because I was busy yesterday, and so were they, so that's why we weren't here. If you cried about it, that's really good for me. Thank you. Keep doing that. Today's candle of the day is Black Cherry Woods, and today's drink of the day is water. And as always, it's basically now and as always, I'm joined by my co-hosts. Up here, we have the August Grimace Lover.
Ooh, August.
Yeah.
I promise I am not attracted to Grimace.
Don't listen to it.
I swear to God.
And then we have Maple, who is not sexually attracted to Grimace.
Recap. That means lie.
Recap. That means lie. I'm picturing that picture of Dustin with the nails in the ear and the hoop earrings.
Oh.
Do you know what I'm talking about? That's what I just pictured, and I love that. And then we also have Charles, the Charles Breakfast, who has indeterminate feelings on Grimace.
I haven't decided. I'm neutral. Neutral.
We're
in this
not
stance.
sure. The neutral. I abstain from my opinions on Grimace.
Wheeler, how do you feel about Grimace?
I don't think he's my favorite character from
Of all time?
No. I mean, like, my favorite McDonald's guy. I don't think he's my favorite. I'm quite the fan.
Welcome to our McDonald's Land Review podcast.
Welcome to our McDonald's review podcast. That's also a mukbang. Today we have the milkshake that apparently tastes like Grimace.
It is.
I've got a nice, refreshing Dr. Pee-Pee.
Oh, ew, Dr. Pee-Pee? Ugh.
Water.
Did
From a
take
cup that my parents took from Taco Republic.
Nice.
Nice.
There's a place in KC called Taco Naco, and I saw them on Instagram the other day, and I was like, I should try that, because, like, I have a problem with not liking, like, Mexican food unless it's, like, authentic, so I should probably try it, because it looks like they actually make the food there.
You are not a fan of the Taco Bell?
Dude, okay. We're picking the mic up. This is very serious. I'm going to say something controversial yet brave to start off this episode of Recap that we're not talking about wrestling. Taco Bell is mid, and you have been tricked into thinking it's good your entire life. It is only good when you are drunk or high. It is not good in any other circumstances.
Taco Bell in a good 7 years.
I've always thought it was bad.
I think I've had it a total of 5 times. In my life.
Yeah, of all the fast foods, I think Taco Bell is the one I've had. Next time we're in KC, I have a couple of really good taco places that I can take you to.
That sounds banger. I would love to do that. Leave in the comments below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Like, rating, 5 stars. 07s. Hit the bell icon. Tell us what your favorite taco is. All of the nobody in you. Oh! Kimmy says, but the taco lady calls me sweetheart. Does that change the ranking of it if the people are nice to you?
You know, it does help.
Yeah, it does help.
That's fair.
But I also have been there so little. I just get the same thing.
What do you get?
Crunch Wrap Supreme? I don't remember.
After I learned how to make Crunch Wraps at home, I just stopped getting them. August.
I tried to go Taco Bell years ago, and I like ordered, and then I realized that I forgot my wallet, and then I just like left the drive-through, and never show my face there again.
It's like, I can never go back to that location. They will know. They've actually saved your order on a piece of paper for like 7 years waiting for you to come back. Ugh. But I guess we have to talk about wrestling and not Taco Bell. So
What? Lies.
tonight's episode of AEW Dynamite was sponsored by The Cube with Shaquille O'Neal. I watched maybe 10 minutes of that show after Dynamite went off the air and realized I don't like this.
The puzzles seemed really easy. That's my review.
Yeah, and
That seemed difficult.
Still in AEW canon.
oh, he's still very dead in AEW canon. He went into that ambulance and never came out.
He's dead with Regal.
They share a hospital room. They chatting.
They hold hands.
Exactly. So
William left Excalibur for Shaq.
that is the fan fiction of all time. Someone get the AO3 girlies on it. Someone should write it right now.
But in wrestling news, Adam Cole versus MJF.
That you're right. That did actually open the show. I forgot completely
I was
about
surprised. Yes, in an AEW World Title Eliminator match.
Why didn't they just make it? Because of how it ends in a 30-minute time limit draw, why didn't they just make it a title match?
Oh, I
Yeah,
like
exactly.
it as an eliminator match. I feel like if it was a title match, it wouldn't have the same. Like, they can't continue on. Whereas with this, they can, I feel.
Oh. I guess that makes sense.
That's my vibes, at least.
I just didn't like that ending.
You didn't like it? Why?
I mean, it was a really good match, but like I feel like there have been a number of occasions where MJF has had a time limit draw and they've like continued the match afterwards. Like that happened at Revolution when he fought Bryan Danielson and there wasn't like a clear winner, and then they like continued the match on. And it's like, well, either do that again because you've done it before, or think of a new way to end the match.
A new and exciting way to end an MJF match, because almost all of them are the same.
Mm-hmm.
Maple?
Like,
I just was saying it breaks like the either that's the thing that you expect to happen, so it should happen or be subverted in some way, but you can't just ignore the thing that you expect to happen.
Okay.
At least personally, I liked the ending. I was hoping that Adam would like pin him, but it was I was like, I liked the moment where like he was literally like the bell was about to be like hit, that he won, and then it was the time limit draw, and I liked that.
I had flashbacks.
But
War flashbacks.
And I'm happy that they didn't decide to go 5 minutes, because I feel like that would have been, it would have then like been like, okay, either Adam gets it, then why did you have it go to a time limit draw, or like MJF cheats and then he doesn't win, and that would have also been lazy, for at least in my view. So I'm like, I liked it that like Adam was like, I want to go another 5 minutes, and MJF was just like, nah,
No.
and just left. I thought that was funny. But I don't know.
that is kind of funny.
So I feel like
You know-
it makes sense.
I was hoping. Well, first off, I was hoping they'd do something that I'd figured to be like more original or more creative or something, rather than what's kind of the same thing. But if they're gonna do the same thing, I was hoping that Tony Khan would come out and say, "Hey, you have to do this," and then MJF would win anyways, and then MJF's next feud would be with Tony Khan.
Could you imagine if Tony Khan wrestled?
That'd be crazy. I wouldn't be mad. Oh, I was also gonna say I loved the moment where MJF like grabbed the belt and brought it in and was like, "Ah ha ha, you have the belt. You're gonna get in trouble, not me." And then like Bryce was still on the floor and Adam was just like, "You think I'm not gonna hit you with it? Are you joking?"
Adam said,
cracked me up.
Adam Cole said, I am him, bro. I am not Hangman. I am not Jungle Boy. I'm hitting you with this shit. Because who cares? And I respect that.
It makes me happy
Yeah.
because I don't like him as a pure baby face. I like him as a heel, and so that moment made me really pleased.
He is not better than that, and he should stoop lower.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Go, the
Always
bar
start
is
at
in
the bottom.
hell. Go lower. That was really cool.
I do like that. I really hope that it is on because I don't want Adam to get sucked back into the Jericho vortex.
Dude,
No.
the Jericho Vortex was in full effect tonight. In a completely separate thing. But if there are two people I would ever want sucked into the Jericho Vortex, I'm glad it was them. But, like, thank God Adam escaped.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, this was like, I really liked the match. It was really good, and I feel like it had like a lot of good like things in it that kept me like going because I was like, damn, this match is going long.
Yeah.
And I'm really used to like having the time limits be like called out, which I don't really think they do as much in AEW, which I don't like. I feel like they should be a lot more like 20 minutes has passed or like
They used to
5
do
minutes.
that.
Yeah, and I really appreciate that because I was like, I don't think it'll end in a time limit, Jock, because they've barely talked about that they have a time limit at all. And so I don't know. I'm like, you need to like consistently bring up the fact that you have time limits. So when you actually go it's not like, wait, there was 30 minutes on the clock. You didn't say that.
Yeah, no, I was kind of surprised by the ending. Like, I was like, wait, what the fuck just happened? Because there weren't any warnings, and I just, like, didn't remember that it was a time limit match.
That wasn't actually 30 minutes, was it?
It was.
It
I don't-
was.
It was? I thought it was like 31 minutes.
Nah, it says at least on Cage Match it's 30, and when I was watching it and looking at like my watch, like accounting for like entrance time, like it was 30 minutes.
Because I remember we talked about it like several times. I'm like, I think it's going to go to a time limit draw. And you're like, it's only been 20 minutes. And I'm like, maybe it's a 30-minute match. I don't know. Because they constantly change like how long title matches are. Sometimes they're 20 minutes, sometimes they're 30 minutes, sometimes they're 15 minutes if it's the pure title, and that annoys me a little bit, but whatever.
Yeah, I don't know. So basically, I'm like, I liked it personally, but like I also feel like they didn't set it up the best. Because I just was expecting Excalibur to be like, oh, there's only 10 minutes left in this match. Ah, what will happen?
We need Excalibur to count down every second throughout the match.
And he's also calling out the moves as well.
Yes.
He just did, yeah.
He can do it.
He
Honestly,
could.
Yep.
Another thing that I liked that this match did, it helped Adam Cole beat the washed allegations, because everyone said that he was bad after his feud with Jericho. But, you know, us real homies in the back knew that bitch is never washed. He is always good. Sometimes you just have bad showings.
Yes. Yeah, because this also made me like, especially after last week with like the long ass promo, and I was just like, I don't want to be here. This match really helped me go, you know what? I do like MJF when he wrestles because he's really fucking good.
Yeah! Wow, if
maybe
he
if he
wrestled
just-
more, he'd be so good.
When he delivers, he delivers.
He delivers. He was great.
Serving
He's
up
so
that.
expressive.
Yeah.
What do they do to make Jeff look cool? They ring the bell every 6 months.
It's basically like that.
But when they ring the bell, he does look cool.
He does.
Fashbush says, what happened to Fraggle Rock? I moved out. I'm sorry. I live in the X Mansion now. Xavier's Institute for Gifted Youngsters. That's where I live now. Unfortunately, I'm sorry.
Fraggle Rock.
I love Fraggle Rock. What a
I
great
love
show.
Fraggle Rock. I think I have it on DVD over there, maybe
Really?
somewhere.
I'm jelly.
Yes. Yeah, we do.
Hey,
I
you
see
know
it.
who else?
It's next to the Family Guy.
Professor
Ooh.
Sammy Guevara.
Oh, that's amazing.
Sammy
What's
Guevara
his power?
really? Oh, dude. I didn't know he was a telepath.
Who runs? His power is being
You know, I actually feel that this is a great segue into what happened next on Dynamite.
Go for it.
Sammy Guevara showed up.
Oh, and he took precious time out of Renee's day to talk about literally nothing. Although I was wrong, he did not bring up the fact that he worked at Subway. So, damn.
Yes, he's having a baby girl.
Yeah,
Congrats,
that's right.
Girl child.
girl child, girl fail.
We don't know if the child is girl
No.
fail yet. It's not born.
Time will tell. And he was like, "Hey, this ain't working or whatever. I need to make changes." And then music hit, and Darby Allin came out. Woohoo!
And we
Woohoo.
realized that we were going to be stuck in this vortex forever because we thought we escaped those two awful people being around each other during the Four Pillars feud. No, it must continue. Yeah, it's never over.
At least MJF and Jungle Boy, the two pillars of AEW,
Very true.
Yeah, if they're gonna be on TV, I'm happy that they're like quarantining them off to their own corner.
It's the best. When Jay Lethal and Darby Allin were feuding, I was like, "This is great. I don't care about either of you. You just get shoved in the corner, and I don't have to watch."
It's like I can look at my phone the whole time.
Yeah, they scheduled a break into the episode.
It was beautiful.
And intermission.
But like what?
Hey.
Sammy talked about like, I didn't win the championship, but I need to be a champion for when my baby is born. And the crowd only booed whenever he talked about his baby. Every other time, or they only cheered. They didn't boo the baby. Don't boo children. they only
That
cheered
baby
when he was
does-
like, I'm having a baby.
Don't you dare boo Ty's child.
Don't boo
No,
Ty's
it
child. Ty doesn't deserve it.
I really think they like piped in sounds for the crowd. Like there were a couple of shots where like he said something and then there were cheering sounds, but like you could see the crowd behind him and everyone was just like silent, like just sitting there.
I read that online. I read someone's theorizing that they piped in sounds as well.
Oh shit! I didn't even think that they would ever do that. That's embarrassing.
They've
Our
or for Sam.
Mhm. I was gonna say, if Sammy Guevara tries to turn face, and the only way that he can turn face is him to be like, "You can't boo me," because I'll continually bring up the fact I'm having a child, and you can't boo that. And it's like the audience, like, well, yeah, I'm not gonna boo you having a baby. Like that's sweet. I would be an
Fuck them
asshole,
kids.
but like you can't turn
Fuck them
face just
kids.
on the basis of that.
What is...
A child. No.
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 And then, so him and Darby start arguing because Darby comes out and he's like, hey, you know,
Darby
fucking
Allin.
Darby Allin gremlin noises in between every other sentence like he's an asthmatic and I'm worried about him. Fucking Chris comes out in the most gorgeous boots ever. He was slaying Boots the house down. Those boots were so pretty. I loved them. He was slaying for the gays.
He did
this
that
month.
for Pride Month.
He did do it for Pride Month. Thank you, Chris.
I think that was like the only thing I told August after the Dynamite. I was like, Chris's boots were fire.
They
Yeah, I
were
love how he's wearing
fire.
like the like black spike fit, and then just like the sparkly heels
Like
It was
bright
beautiful.
purple,
That was,
fully
like, a
adorned
full
in crystal.
too.
They were healed as well. I'm impressed with a man who can walk in heels. I'm like, yes, sir.
Mm-hmm.
You know what you're doing here. But like,
See, Chris
sorry, what?
Jericho is just so close to being somebody that I like.
What was it you said, Maple? He has to be my favorite wrestler because I dislike him the most, but in a not bad way.
He's my favorite wrestler that I dislike.
There you
Of the
go.
wrestlers I dislike, he's my favorite.
Okay, yeah, and that makes sense. I agree with that.
Wholeheartedly. Oh
Yeah,
god,
Chris-
he's the worst.
It was just so good compared to like Sammy's and also Darby's, but especially Sammy's. And I hated Sammy's outfit.
Mm-hmm. Sammy just like a
Yeah.
dad took his family on vacation to the Bahamas.
Yeah, he's like, you know, I gotta hit up Margaritaville before it closes. Stay here, Timmy. Daddy's gonna go have fun. Because, he did invent Margaritaville after all.
He sure
He
fucking
did.
did.
He's the
He
reason.
is Jim Buffett.
He's Nautical Wheelers by Jimmy Buffett. He wrote that song. But there was, so I had mentioned this on Twitter like 2 days ago, but now I'm going to bring it up because we can all tell where this is going. Sammy's trying to turn face and be a good boy. And what deeply upsets me is that they're doing it through the lens of, like, Darby being like, you're a bitch, which, like, objectively he's right, but also I don't want to agree with Darby Allin, so fuck you. And then Chris is like, I don't know what the fuck he's saying. I didn't pay attention that much. I was just mostly sitting in my silence, stewing, and being like, damn, this could be Daniel Garcia. How can I make this about Daniel Garcia? And I can't, because it's not him. He should have been the one to, like, at least not... I don't think Daniel could ever be a face, but I think he could be Daniel and be weird as shit and do whatever he wants and just leave and with his dad's and maybe his sister. Just do a little dance right on out of there. And we are not allowed, because they were like, I heard that gay people watch this show, and as a matter of fact, we hate those, so we're not going to give you any Daniel Garcia content until later in the show. That's completely, like, not relating to anything that's happening right now. And I was like, damn, this really could have been him. It could have been him last year, and then they decided not to, and then they gave his spot to Sammy, and it appears they're doing it again, and that's deeply frustrating. Your opinion.
It's so annoying that he got so close to leaving the JAS and then just didn't, and they just forgot that ever happened.
Yup. And it's just exhausting because I'm like, I haven't watched it because I wasn't watching then, but like with Sammy, I'm like, you already did this and it failed. Why are you trying it again? Like, I don't think the outcome is gonna be that different.
It's crazy to me because as someone who was hi, there's Streamcat.
Kitty.
Hello. But as someone who was watching during that time, I can definitively say that is the most frustrated wrestling made me last year. And fucking Brawl Out happened last year. All that CM Punk stuff happened last year. And the Daniel Garcia stuff made me more angry because it just made no sense. And I hate it when stuff doesn't make sense. It's silly and it's dumb. And it's dumb, stupid, dumb.
I will say there is one winner from Returning Face.
Woohoo.
And that's Jazz. Because Jazz is going to be so much better on average after Sammy leaves.
I don't know about Jake
that,
Hager
though.
is still there, and I cannot stand that man.
You've got, like, out of 10, you've got, like, Sammy Hager as a 1, you've got Chris as, like, a 4, and, like, 2.0 as, like, 9 or whatever, right? And whoever the person you like as a 9 or whatever. When one of the ones leaves, the average goes way up.
Yeah, but I still am like, everyone is still in a terrible position. So it's like, Jazz just sucks. And then the people I like are just in a bad situation. And how is Sammy the one who gets to leave?
Yeah, like, it sucks because it's like, I like a lot of the people in the Jericho Appreciation Society. Like, honestly, there's more people in that faction that I like that I don't like. The issue, you never see them. The ones that are likable, you never see. You never see 2.0. You never see Anna. Now you're not going to see Ty for like 9 months. Daniel is... I don't know what the fuck he's doing. I think he wants to fight Shibata, and Shibata's going to murder him.
Oh, absolutely. And he is going to lay in the middle of the ring covered in streamers.
He's gonna lay there. He's gonna, like, be sad and weaponize boohoo face, and he's gonna cry, and he's gonna be like, my life sucks. Why does my life suck? As if we ain't answered this question like 9 months ago. It's because you are forcing yourself to be something you're not. You silly, silly, silly Buffalonian.
You little sports entertainer.
You little...
So also Sting came out.
Oh, did he really? Oh, because they did the bat thing, and I thought they were gonna fight with the bats. I forgot about that.
So I think a tag match is happening. I'm really confused on who exactly it's against and what teams are for, but like, stuff is happening apparently. Old men fight.
shit is old man screams at cloud.
Yeah, I don't know. With what Jericho was saying, it's like the entire time we thought BCC was like super kinky because they like look kinky and wear black.
That's because they are.
But Jericho was the entire time being like, "I'm your master. Call me daddy."
See, he after leaving that feud with BCC last year, like some of their juices, their energy leaked onto him, and he was like,
What juices?
I gotta. I'm not answering the grimace juices.
Oh, grimace juices. Excuse me. How could I not know?
How could I not know? But he's like, I gotta take some of these. I gotta take some of these cues from them. All right, call me daddy, and
No, marriage is not brother.
You can't be calling people daddy. Who do you think this is? Is this the Acclaimed? No.
The Acclaimed.
I miss them. Why aren't they on TV?
Goodness. All right. Anyone else have any thoughts on Chris, Sting, Darby, Sammy?
What does the cat think?
Kitty, tell us your thoughts. Oh.
She looks so happy.
About Sammy?
No way your
Yeah,
cat
I
is
think-
Sammy Guevara. That's crazy. It even the name even starts with an S. I think you need to rename your
Ooh.
cat.
And SA.
Yes, this is Sammy Guevara.
Don't will that into the world.
This is Sammy Guevara. He loves.
She
to
turned
eat
her
cat
face
toys.
away from the camera. She doesn't support that.
Oh,
She's shy.
I'm sorry.
A baby. Goodness. But next we had Sonata. Finally Forbidden Store stuff. Forbidden Door. I almost said store. It's not a store.
The Forbidden Store.
But he put out an open challenge for the IWGP World Heavyweight title. And he looked very handsome in a nice suit and sunglasses.
And bad lighting.
Yeah, it was really, I was upset because they always film them in basements for some reason. I don't know what's that about, but
I feel like they should have given us a 10-minute promo package telling us who Sonata was and how he became the IWGP World Heavyweight champion, because otherwise I wouldn't know who he was, even though he said his name out loud in his title.
Yeah, wrestling fans don't know how to Google things.
Or
yeah,
read.
my Google don't work like yours does. Who is Sonata?
Yeah, you Google Sonata and nothing comes up. It's an anomaly.
What
You
happens
Google
when you-
Sonata and it autocorrects to, did you mean Frank Sinatra?
He is the IWGP World Heavyweight Champion.
Frank Sinatra?
Oh yeah.
Cool.
He won it from Okada, didn't you know?
I thought he won it from Sammy Guevara.
Damn.
I feel like this joke is not funny to anyone who watches recap, but the four of us will continually make that joke and giggle every 10 seconds. It's just a thing now.
The four of us. Don't you mean the five?
Sable?
No, Sammy Guevara.
He's with us.
I forgot. I inherited the show from... He's with us always. I forgot I inherited the show from him. Someone's gonna take clips of this and tweet it at. That's not true. No one watches the show. No one will do that. But you'd be like, who are these people?
His biggest fan. I can't say it with a straight face. I can't say it with a straight face.
We should make a sign next time Dynamite comes into town that has one of our inside Sammy Guevara jokes on it, that just for no one else, just for us.
Just for us. Oh god. Yeah. I guess in other Dynamite news, there was the 8-man match with the Mogul Embassy and the wildest collection of names: Darby Allin, Keith Lee, Orange Cassidy, and Sting.
Yeah,
It happened.
Why?
I didn't really watch it. I don't know, man.
I think the match said all there was, right? No.
I forgot. That was during that match.
For those watching the stream who did not watch Dynamite, like, I don't know if it was a technical issue or what, but during the middle of this match, in giant, letters on screen, it just said no.
Which
Like,
apparently someone said that it happened a few months ago, and it said yes, no last time. I don't
something
remember
is
that.
happening. Something fishy is a brewing.
It's the AEW ARG.
You know, I keep wondering why wrestling doesn't do ARGs, and then I realized it's because if they did, wrestling fans are very annoying. And they'll
And
probably
stupid.
like, I feel I have a similar I'm gonna make an amazing comparison right now. Wrestling fans slash theorists are comparable or equal to FNAF fans. And let me make this connection for you. Here's why. Because fans of Five Nights at Freddy's slash theorists are the kind of people that when Matt Pat tells you that this ARG is happening, they literally put a company out of business because of how much their phone lines are being blown up and like stopping transmission basically to this entire town. I feel like wrestling fans are the same breed
Remember
of
when-
crazy that they would do the same thing.
Remember when MJF did that one promo about like when he was in high school, getting roadhead, and then a bunch of
And then
people
he
like
killed a
called the police department in his hometown?
Yeah, see? It's the same fucking breed of people. It's the same stench.
Also, I think the reason why the no popped up on the screen is because they were having some like trouble with the cameras and like putting that all together because their camera guy had to like run back to the back because it's Sammy Guevara and he was just out on stage.
They're like, no. But like, I couldn't tell you anything about this match. I just know that it was.
I have 2 notes. Daniel Garcia watches on from backstage and did the whole like get a load of these guys. And then 2, Sting wins by pinning Brian Cage with the orange punch from Orange.
Wow.
That's it. That's all that happened. I don't know anything else.
I know at one point, I think Brian Cage, because he's the only one in the Mobile Embassy I can name by name other than like the Gates of Agony or whatever. He picks up a Keith Lee on his shoulders with 2 people helping him, and then Swerve does the Swerve stomp on his stomach. And I was like, wow, Swerve versus Keith Lee would be really good if there weren't all these other random people.
Yeah,
so good.
true.
I don't know why they need 6 other people.
Okay, and then the Gun Club shows up and talks to Renee.
And they were very cute. I love Gun Club.
I didn't hear the first part of whatever they were saying, but I think they were saying that they weren't in like the Bullet Club Gold thing or whatever. They were just being nice and kind boys and being helpful or something.
They
I
are
didn't
nice
pick
and
it up.
kind boys of Jesus.
And then they challenged the Hardys. That's all.
That I'm not as excited about.
I want to see. They were talking about how they're the best brother tag team in AEW, and I want to see them against the Young Bucks.
Yes.
If Dante
Yes.
weren't hurt, I'd love to see him against Top Flight, but
Top Flight, that would be so fun.
This deserves so much cut.
Yes.
I have a hot take about this, right?
yeah.
I don't like the Guns versus the Hardys again, because I feel like they're just doing the same thing over again, even though I kind of like both groups.
Yeah.
I feel like it needs to have more tag teams, have different tag teams fight each other.
Yeah, I agree.
Because it's so funny. We have so many tag teams on the roster. Did you know that fucking Butcher and the Blade are employed?
I like Butcher and the Blade.
Did you know that Spanish Announce Project is a thing?
How could I forget Sat?
How can I forget Sap, right? They have fucking
The Dark Order, Best Friends
The
are fighting right now.
Wingmen. How could
they
you
have oh
forget
my god, the
Peter
Wingmen.
Avalon and Ryan Nemeth.
Amazing. And JD and Cesar, absolutely. They have so literally 2.0 is employed. They have so many tag teams, and it's like, what if we made Jeff Hardy wrestle again? And it's like, I'm worried about him. I don't think he should be
Yeah,
wrestling
his
anymore.
fragile bones can't take much more of this.
It's the SpongeBob thing where it's like every day I wake up with glass bones and I fall asleep with paper skin.
Yeah, they're still making Sting wrestle. Like they have other options.
But it's Sting. What?
Fuck it, let's get some tag teams from ROH in here. I don't care how much people dislike the Kingdom. I think Miranda Canellis is pretty. Put her on TV.
Yes.
Do
I like
that!
their theme. They have a good theme. Thy kingdom. Oh.
The Kingdom.
Yeah. Put Dalton Castle and the boys on my television.
Let's
I
Where
Dalton
are they?
Castle.
I have missed them.
am no longer asking.
Hey,
I'm
put
demanding.
Dalton Castle on the television for 30 seconds.
They actually were on ROH last night.
Were they? Wow,
Yeah,
ROH is
maybe
the A
stuff
show.
there.
Stand up for ROH.
07's in the chat.
07.
For ROH.
What they
Okay,
have like
if you had to pick one person, one tag team for the Guns to be against, instead of the Hardys, who would it be?
brother tag teams?
The Young
The Lucha Bros.
Yeah. Oh, that's true. How could we forget the best brother tag team in wrestling? The Lucha Bros.
The
I
best
love the
brother
Lucha
tag team in wrestling. Not twins, however.
Yeah,
What are they, twin brothers?
No, only
They
the
could
Bucks
also
are
do
twins.
Jalistico and Roosh, and we could see them die.
Oh, that's true. Can we someone bring Roosh back? Just
Yeah,
Bring him
apparently, some of them have been having visa issues, and that's why they haven't been on television as much. So,
Yeah.
according to Twitter, though, so take it with a grain of salt.
then it's
but,
probably not true.
apparently, a lot of people have been having visa issues this year because, like, Kenny was having them, Jamie Hayter was having them. So,
That's fair. Yeah.
I don't know who I'd want the Guns to be against. You know who I'd want the Guns to be against?
Mhm.
I think instead of this interview, they should have had a promo where they're like, "Hey, Jay White, come out here. We really helped you. Blah blah blah. We want to join." And then Jay White beat them up.
And then Jay White being like, no.
denied.
I don't think so. You're not in my bang bang gang. I don't think
Bang,
so.
Bang bang gang.
Bang bang bang. And then Juice is just
What was I
like,
gonna
barking.
say? The next thing we had was, of course, the great Jake Hager versus Wardlow.
I deadass don't think I watched a minute of that match.
Well, it was only 7 minutes long, so that's kind of fair.
That is 7 minutes
too
too long.
Yep. It was still, so sorry, longer than the women's match.
Also, they killed Arn Anderson.
He
They fucking
died.
did. He died.
That
That was
poor
funny at the end with like Wardlow like hauling ass up the ramp.
He was a
Go save
track star.
Arn.
I love how Arn Anderson just does like the finger guns and then everyone always like runs away.
It's great.
Someone tweeted like, I love how every heel in AEW is afraid that Arn Anderson is actually going to pull a Glock on them and shoot them on live TV, and I feel like it's a fair fear. Because what if he did that? He just pulled a gun on
He's
you.
a very off-putting man at times.
He beat up 2.0, which made me sad though. I was like, oh, now they're gonna be all whimpery and sad and sexy on the floor. No. Can't they at least do that in the ring?
Jake Hager's ugly shorts said "rock hard" on them.
He ain't Juice.
Juice infringement!
How dare you?
He will be Juice Robinson.
Imagine that.
He will never be truly rock hard.
Never. This episode was sponsored by Blue Chew. If you have problems getting rock hard, they can help you. Just kidding. I don't know who those fucking people
Actually, that's what's in the Grimace milkshake.
Is that what the Grimace milkshake is?
That's
Is that why you're
awful.
sexually attracted to Grimace? That's in the milkshake. Okay.
Someone explain this to me, right?
Mhm.
I feel like Wardlow. I don't have any proof of this, but I feel like Wardlow has the most non-matches out of anyone. Like I see him jobbers. I see him like have 7-minute matches. I see him have like the most like, not just like bad matches, which he has a ton of, but like just non-matches.
Yes, I would agree with that. The last time, so like with Christian, that was like a match.
That was a match.
With Powerhouse Hobbs, I'm looking based on time on his cage match. So when he lost the belt, when he held it for like 3 days and then he lost it to Hobbs, it was a 10-minute match. And then when he won the belt from Samoa Joe, that was a 10-minute match. So like loosely over 2023, I'd say he's had 3 actual matches out of like 10.
You know, his whole like several years of being in love with MJF really did something to him, because now he's employing the MJF strategies of don't wrestle real matches often. In fact, don't do anything. And it makes me sad because I feel like I always have to restate this. It's like, I like him. He's just making it very hard to continue. It's like, oh, let me grab. That looks so heavy. I'll help you. There's only so much I can do, Michael.
Yeah. I think when I came into AEW, I was like, oh yeah, I like him. He seems cool. I watched his like Hey AEW with like RJ, and that was fun. He like talked about like not liking the Amish and stuff. I don't know.
What?
It was a funny episode.
That's so real.
Yeah, he had beef.
So
So he had beef with the Amish, and I was like, this is funny. He's funny. He like cut his hair, or like I guess Samoa Joe technically cut his hair, and ever since then have not cared for the man.
He's not been the same.
He hasn't been the same.
that I think that ponytail like held his charisma in it.
It really fucking did.
It's like, what?
Gone.
The guy from the Bible with the hair? That gets yeah, that one. That gets cut off. Same thing. Same guy, actually. Did you know that Michael is biblically accurate?
I love how that would make Samoa Joe Delilah.
Yeah.
Delilah.
Whatever you say,
so I have. Okay, of his last 5 matches, one was a House Rules tour, so I'm not counting that. But the 4 that do count, half of them were jobber matches. And then of the last 8 matches, 3 out of 8 of those were title changes.
Oh, good Lord.
Oh, the TNT belt. It's a hot ass mess.
I don't believe in the TNT belt. Not real.
Of his last 10 matches, 5 of them were jobber matches.
Good
Yeah.
Lord.
Yeah, it's not it.
Like that. The thing is that strategy of like constantly feeding him, like he's fucking Ryback, where he's like, feed me Mao, and he fucking eats chips really fast on the internet or whatever, and then has yeah, just like that. It's not working anymore, because they used to do the thing where like Wardlow would just decimate a jobber and just fucking squash him, and then do the power bombs, and they'd all do the power bomb symphony, and everyone loved it. But that was like a year ago. Like, we've all kind of evolved our little like monkey brains to be like, this is actually not entertaining.
Yeah, because it was a good like beginning, but now that he's like, all right, you're now established as a wrestler, I want to actually see you wrestle. And I don't know. Maybe I'm assuming this is all leading to a match with Luchasaurus, but
dude, give the belt to give him the Luchasaurus. Do it.
And I'm looking at his like Jericho Cruise matches and his like Dynamite Cruise, his like House Rules matches, and it's like Lee Moriarty, Daniel Garcia, and I'm like, I'd love to see you wrestle not just the same person over and over again, which is a big guy.
Mm-hmm.
And I know you just did Christian Cage, and that was good.
It was good.
And like Wardlow is a really good wrestler. Like, he can do like the big strongman stuff, and he can also do like the like flippy shit.
Yeah.
And like that's honestly like really impressive and really good. He just like, I feel like the people that he gets put in matches against don't really give him much of a chance to like showcase that.
Which is why I'm hoping with Luchasaurus he does, because Luchasaurus is also like he's a larger wrestler, but he's like, I also do high flying stuff.
Yeah.
So maybe they'd like be able to do that against each other. Because like if not, then I'm like, I don't know.
They do that
What am I-
thing
what
where
am I
they
here
both
for?
bounce off of the ropes on opposite sides of the ring and collide in the middle of the sky. And then they both fall
the
down
low
dead.
Yeah, I don't know. The entire thing of like, oh, you're doing a lot of title changes with Samoa Joe, and then a lot of title changes with Haas, and blah blah blah, and now it's like Luchasaurus, and I'm like, to me, that just all feels super similar, even though like their aesthetics are very different.
Because they're
And I get
not...
Luchasaurus might do more high flying shit, but
Yeah.
Yeah, I just at the end of the day, I'm now like kind of bored with Wardlow. I feel like he just hasn't brought anything to the table for a while, and like I know some people who like know who Arn Anderson is, Arn is, and really care about him, are like maybe really happy that he's on screen. But I'm like, I literally can never understand what Arn is saying, and they don't
I
do
thought it's kind of part of the fun,
comparisons.
though.
So I'm just like, he's funny, and don't get me wrong, that man loves blood for some reason, like Christ. Um, but I'm just like, he's amusing, but I don't know. I'm just like, I don't know what we're doing here.
yeah, they like have a promo where they're like opening a door and there's like a bloody person there, and I'm like, oh, a bloody person, and they're like, that's Arn Anderson's son, and now I still don't care.
I'm like, you can't make me care about Brock Anderson. You can't do that. He's some
No.
child.
Like, I like Arn Anderson. I mean, I'm not particularly emotionally invested with him, but I think he's funny. I don't give a shit about Brock Anderson.
Right? I'm like, out of the two of them, I like Arn because Arn has all of the memes, and like, honestly, here's what he needs to do. This is like one of the last things Cody did in AEW before he left. Before he, went and
Rip
finished
Cody.
the story.
Before he died.
Before he died. He's in the third hospital bed next to Shaq and Regal. R.I.P. Cody Rhodes. Finish the story, buddy. But he had this whole thing with Arn because like Arn was his trainer or whatever, and like there were these hilarious fucking promo videos where like Arn would like break into Cody's house and like in his backyard and start burning his shit, and Cody's like, what are you doing in my house? And Arn is like, if you weren't such a bitch, you would have come down here and put out my fire and kicked me out of my lawn, but you are such a loser that you would never do that. You don't have that dog in you, Cody Rhodes. You suck. And it's basically him just like giving him really tough love that is so funny. I mean, that's literally where the whole Glock Anderson stuff started, because he was like, if someone carjacked you, you would get out of the car and say, please don't hurt me, whereas I would pull the Glock out and spray their brains on the concrete. And I'm like, he should do more stuff like that. Do that with Wardlow.
should.
Make Wardlow likable by being funny with him. I don't know.
That leads exactly into what I was just thinking with Wardlow, right? Wardlow, he has Arn Anderson right now, which is a comedy thing. And then his two best matches I've ever seen him in are him chasing MJF around the ring, and like the entire like comedy of that, and then him versus Orange, where they pulled out a chainsaw. And I'm like, Wardlow would make a great straight man to a lot of jokes.
Yeah.
Because he's just really big and he chases you
That's
around
also
the ring.
what he did on BTE, and it was great.
Yeah.
I feel like he's trying to be the main character, and I'm like, I don't think you are. I'm sorry.
Like, I love you. You are not the main character. You are the NPC.
You know what this is? Wardlow thinks he's Cody Rhodes.
Oh no!
No. Don't try to be him. Oh, God.
He was a great heel. He was really funny, and now he's trying to be super serious. Super, I'm the main character. I'm like the good boy type of thing, and he has Arn Anderson.
That's
This is
crazy.
incredible.
You kind of hit with the TNT title too. You hit the nail right on the head, because like you said the whole main character thing, and it reminded me of a joke that I made like 2 years ago. Back when Recap was a podcast 2 years ago, when we had Frankie Kazarian as the Elite Hunter, and he was just convinced he was the main character and that he was gonna bring down the Elite and all these things, but he kept getting his ass whipped and like immediately lost to like Doc Gallows, and he was like, no, I'm gonna get you, I'm the main character, I'm gonna save the world, as if like Adam Page is not standing like over there in the corner like shaking and like nursing like a bottle of Hennessy. Like, no, guy, that's the main character, not you. Sorry, buddy. But like, you know, they should turn Wardlow heel with the idea that his character is that he delusionally thinks he's still the main character.
Okay. He did the lashings with MJF. He had like the cage match. Like, I feel like a lot.
We're connecting the dots.
He
like,
wow.
Immediately after Cody left, they ran back like the cage match and the lashings, and I feel like they really were trying to be like, Cody is a bitch ass motherfucker. Cody was crying at those lashings. Look at this guy. He's so much stronger than Cody.
Look at this guy. He's laughing. He wants more. He's like Cody
his
Rhodes
titty.
2.0, popping his
Oh my
titties.
God. I will say those Cody Rhodes lashings were kind of the funniest thing I had ever seen. They were really fucking
so
funny.
I've
Like,
never
he was
felt
crying all over the place. It was hysterical.
I've never seen
Sorry.
it. I should.
Not to laugh at like pain or whatever.
Oh,
Oh, I love laughing at pain.
so funny.
But just him, like, everyone coming out and being like, no, Cody, you can do it. You got this. And I'm like, I swear to God, I assure you that the worst pain in this man's life is not taking a belt to the back. Like, I feel like he's experienced worse.
Mm-hmm.
Only 10? Like,
It too.
only 10 lashings, and he's reacting like that?
Like, Brandy having to come out and be like, no, honey, you can do it. Okay.
She birthed a whole child. I assure you, Brandy has it worse.
Oh,
You know what? That tattoo on his neck probably hurt a hell of a lot more, both psychologically and mentally and physically, than the fucking
He has
lashes.
to live with that for the rest of his life.
Wardlow should get a neck tattoo. That just is like a dog. It says like War Dog. It's like green and black.
Oh my God.
The next thing they should do with Wardlow is have him get knocked out in a match and have him wake up in a promo and think he's Cody Rhodes. Just fully go for it.
You know, this is hysterical because Cody Rhodes got possessed on BTE with like the spirit of WWE or whatever.
Mhm.
And so I'm like, again, we are just replicating Cody Rhodes' base, and I'm loving it.
It would work. No one would know the difference. Corporate wants you to find the difference between these two images, Wardlow and Cody Rhodes. It's the same image.
He gets like a temporary tattoo, and it starts peeling after a couple of days.
He like starts wearing more like America gear, and he starts saying like, "My dad, Dusty Rhodes," and it's like it's even funnier because like Wardlow's dad is dead or something.
Yeah. Well, you know, that's crazy.
He gets a rubber chicken.
Okay. He gets knocked out.
But he gets up again.
Shut up.
You're never gonna
Nope.
keep
Keep
him
it
down.
down.
Okay. Knocked out in a match, and then you see him in a promo, and he like startles awake, and he's like, "I was having a nightmare, an American nightmare," and then he's Cody Rhodes.
That would be so iconic, though.
He like comes up through the Cody Vader. There's all that bullshit
Wait,
explosions.
Pyro.
we gotta get Snoop Dogg to ride him around.
We gotta get Snoop Dogg in here! And we have to have
Big
Wardlow give a 20-minute promo solving racism.
Mhm.
This is how we get him over.
It's already been solved. Like,
He can solve it again. Or he
Oh,
finds like a new thing. You know what? He's gonna fix the gay code. He's gonna like stop everyone from hating gay people.
Homophobia.
He's gonna stop homophobia, transphobia.
Yeah,
That's
that's it.
Wardlow. Hey, hit us up.
man of the people. The big homie.
The big homie War Dog.
The biggest homie.
Biggest homie.
He's
Biggest homie. More
He is
homie.
the bigger. The one and only.
I love creating new bits. This is fantastic.
He is in wrestling's third royal family.
The Michael family
The Michael family.
is royalty.
There's more than one. There's more than two.
God, that's what he comes out to, like, before his music starts playing. It says,
Two
there's
royal
more than two royal families. He starts coming out to, like, a different downstate song that's, like, not Kingdom, but, like, it's close enough.
But not close enough to get copyrighted. Let's go.
Yeah.
The lights turn on. I'm not ready at all.
Oh my god.
There's adrenaline in the soles of my shoes. Fuck.
Waterloo. I don't know. Something. Waterloo.
You know what?
Oh,
Again,
If Wardlow's gonna solve transphobia, he comes out and it says testosterone in my soul.
I think we solved, like, a really big problem tonight. We should
but
contact...
again, Tony Khan
Wardlow,
needs to call
I am
us.
talking directly to you. Hit us up. We will manage you.
Wardlow, have you ever wanted 4 valets? We got you. Comment in the chat box right now. We have ideas.
I know you're watching.
I know you're in the chat, Michael. I know that you're on break from that fucking car dealership that you work at. I know.
You have to promise me that you're gonna clip part of this and then send it to Wardlow with a link.
I'll have this email,
I'm sure
don't
he'd
worry.
be like...
What are these faggots talking about?
And Tony.
Wardlow would never say that to me. He's not Cole
He's
Cabana.
solving transphobia.
Oh, instead of having Chris Jericho on the shirt, you have a shirt that's Wardlow and it says study the transgender process and get back to me, Junior.
Okay. If Wardlow's gonna solve transphobia, Wardlow has to marry a trans person, right?
Okay.
And it's me.
And it's me.
Oh, I sent some... Oh dear. will get Wardlow in
polyamory
the
is in.
I had first dibs.
I
That's
was
true,
saying,
you saw him first. That's how it works.
You did.
I did see him first.
What happened
Don't mind
next
me.
on the show? Because for a segment none of us gave a fuck about, we sure have talked about Wardlow for like half an hour.
This is-
Hiroshi Tanahashi. He was like, "Hey, MJF, you have the belt. I competed for it last year. Let's do that again."
And he was
and
pretty and gorgeous and perfect. Go Ace.
the ace of the universe. And then MJF was like, "Nah, I ain't doing that. Goodbye." And that was that.
Yeah.
And then they released the graphic that said they're having a match.
Which was honestly very funny. It's like, nah, I don't wanna. All these stupid things that are rooted in bigotry deep down. And it's like, actually, Big Dog Tony Khan says, yes, you are. No, fuck
like,
you mean, nah.
I think it was Colin the one who was joking about like Tony Schiavone like dragging him to like the match to have it. I feel like I saw that on Twitter. I don't remember.
I love that, like, if you think that you hate MJF the most, you are wrong. Tony Schiavone hates him more than you do.
Yeah. Tony Schiavone will never stop being a hater, and I love him for that.
I
so good.
respect it. You gotta be a hater.
But yeah.
But yes, so that's happening. And then Orange Cassidy was in a backstage interview with Renee. I feel like they followed each other. I think it was like they had that, then an ad break, and then they came back with this. I don't remember.
Something like that.
This is at least what I have in my notes. And Orange was like, someone's gonna show up and like challenge me for the belt. And I literally went, Zach. And then Zack Sabre Jr. walked in and I was like,
And Orange Cassidy's ex-boyfriend, Zack Sabre, waltzes out and is like, Orange Bullocks, how are you, my darling? and we were all like, "Oh my god, he's like, how do I get over Tai Chi? I get back with my ex, my first ex. That's how." It's just
It's beautiful. It's wonderful. And then Daniel Garcia showed up and was like, Orange, you hang out with Shibata. I want Shibata. And then, like, I think Orange was like, cool, we'll all fight each other next week. Bye. And then Zach was like, what the fuck? I don't want to tag with Daniel Garcia. And then that was it.
and then Daniel tweeted, "I'm gonna become British for a day." Which I love. Hello, Ruby. Welcome to chat. We are just talking about probably, aside from the main event, one of the best segments of the night, and it was only like 2 seconds, and it was just Zack Sabre being Zack Sabre.
I love Zack Sabre so very much. And I'm so excited to see him on next week on television with him being like, I don't want to be doing this.
It's just him, like, in the corner as, like, Danny's, like, doing his little, like, sexy dance over, like, Orange's corpse, and then, like, I don't know, Shibata is just also bored because he's like, well, I mean, I'm just here to beat people up and leave. Please have a nice day.
I know Shibata has no clue who Daniel Garcia is.
He wouldn't! He really wouldn't! And it's so funny because Daniel's like, you know, I saw Yuta get beat up by Shibata. I saw Lee Moriarty get beat up by Shibata. I want some because I like being domineered by a daddy too. And we're all like, I don't think you realize that he's gonna murder you. But maybe that's what he wants.
It's gonna be great. It's gonna be beautiful. I'm gonna be there for it.
I'm so excited, genuinely.
I'm gonna see one of the few British men that I actually respect. Zack Sabre Jr.
Kinky, absolutely kinky. That's his whole thing. I just listen.
Yes, yes. His like literally people joke that his style looks like complicated gay sex.
There's this like GIF. One of my favorite GIFs of him is during the second pure title match he had with Wheeler, where like he's about to tap him out because like he wins the pure title in Buffalo, and it's like this whole great big thing, and it's amazing, and I loved it, and I cried, and it was awesome, and there was friendship, and he was gonna join BCC, and then they ruined it. We talked about that earlier though. But like at the end of the match, he has Yuta in like an ankle lock, but like they're almost like this on top of each other, and then like Daniel literally starts like humping Yuta's corpse until he taps out, and I'm just like, this is happy Pride.
I love wrestling.
I love wrestling. I love how you said, like, when the segment started, when Orange was, like, talking to Renee, you were like, oh, Zack Sabre's about to come out. And I was like, I think Daniel Garcia's gonna come out. But as it turns out, we were both right, because we both have a specific setting on our gaydar that tells us when people are, like, around the corner.
I love Zack. All I can say is I'm so excited. He
is also so incredibly British.
He is very British.
He's so British that it sounds like he's like lying about it.
It's doing a fake British accent.
It's fabulous.
His own accent wrong, and it's funny to me.
It was actually really funny because I think so. He was on like Rampage like 2 weeks ago, I think, for like the fight night or whatever belt, whatever thing they called it. And he did like a little like, you know, promo for it, and he was talking so nicely and softly and like quietly and like not, and I was like, I don't know who was standing backstage like, you're not allowed to curse, you're not allowed to insult your opponent, you're not allowed to do any of that, because his usual backstage interviews like go like a mile a minute, and it's really just him like cursing and using all sorts of British slang that you've never heard before, and it's fabulous.
He's teaching his young lion how to say wanker.
August.
Then he came out this time and said, "Hello, orange bollocks."
Bollocks. Where are you going?
He went, I don't give a shit anymore. I'm gonna say what I want.
Where are you leaving? Streamcat's here. Streamcat 2,
oh my
actually.
goodness, we have 2 kitties. Oh, babies. 2 babies. Oh, goodness.
That's probably the match I'm the most excited for next week is the tag match, because like it literally has 4 people that I love, so I'm like, this is perfect.
It's gonna be so good. Oh,
Can someone tell me a little more about Shibata? Can someone tell me a little more about Shibata?
Yeah, how much would you like to know? I can do a quick TLDR if you'd like.
That sounds great.
So, Shibata is known for his very strong style, super like hardcore, but not hardcore in like a bleeding way, but hardcore in like a, if he like headbutts you, he will headbutt you so hard his head will start bleeding. He's that kind of guy. And he was a part of the new Three Musketeers with Shinsuke and Tana.
I always like forget the like third one, so I'm gonna look it up just to make sure I'm getting it right.
Because it was like the three of them. This was like ages ago, and like he wrestled a lot. He's great. Everyone loves Shibata. He's basically like kind of a legend, like a living
Yes.
legend in his own right.
So, Tanahashi, Shibata, and Nakamura.
I was right. Hooray! Hooray! I was right.
And then
Surgery.
What'd you say?
Is
August?
Shibata the one who had the like brain surgery?
Yeah.
Yes.
So in 2017 he wrestled a match that left him with very bad brain damage. I believe he had a hematoma, and while they were operating on him, they literally had to take the guy's brain out of his head and like fix it and put it back in because it was like that fucked up after like a very nasty, like a match went wrong. This is like, yeah, 2017. And like basically doctors were like, we don't know if he's gonna live. Like there's like a 20% chance this guy's gonna live. But Shibata, because he's Shibata and he's fucking crazy and I love him, lived. He literally went, I lived, bitch. And he came back from it. And he wasn't wrestling for several years, obviously. After like such a big surgery, people thought he was gonna probably be retired for the rest of his life. But then like last year before, he comes back and he has the like 5-minute sprint with Zach. It was with Zack Sabre, coincidentally.
Yes.
You know they did that on purpose. But he's been slowly having matches like since then, and he's now like the Ring of Honor pure champion. He is seen rather regularly, and while he's not a man of like many words, I feel like you don't need to be when you have that when you have like that big of a reputation where it's like you are a legend, people love you, they respect you, like you're genuinely like an utterly fantastic wrestler. Like the reason why Katsuyori Shibata's like nickname is the Wrestler, which that's such a bold name to have, calling yourself the Wrestler, I think he's earned it. He's like just one of the best.
Yeah, he has a very good aura, and he also has a large history with Kenta. They have a little whatever
Yes.
thing.
He's like,
going
Kachan,
on.
wrestle me.
Yes, Kenta, like, I think it was, I don't know which match it was Shibata had, but like one that he had recently, like Kenta in a backstage comment for New Japan was like, we're connected, aren't we, or whatever. So I have a whole thing. And then, yeah, Shibata's cool. He works with the LA JoJo that a New Japan has
Yeah.
in LA.
Okay, so Shibata has not always been in ROH. He used to be in Japan.
Yeah, that's where
he's still signed. He's not signed with ROH.
Yeah, he's just like over there as their champion. He's a New Japan wrestler and probably always will be.
Yeah, he basically has been working more as a trainer, so like he has trained a lot of like the LA New Japan Strong young lions that are now like wrestlers. So like Kevin Knight, Gabriel Kidd, Alex Colin, I don't know how to pronounce his name, and like I think there's one more that I could say, but like so like a lot of those who are now becoming like more noticeable. A lot of them have now been sucked into Bullet Club, though. That's the other one I forgot, Clark Connors. Literally all of them have turned heel and joined Bullet Club except for Kevin Knight, who is still a nice man.
A nice guy.
He's
That's
still
crazy.
sweet. Yeah, everyone else is all like, ah ha ha ha, Bullet Club, let's go with David Finlay.
Because like this is obviously the best era of Bullet Club to want to align yourself with and be in. No other.
Totally, it's so fun. Yeah, but that's Shibata.
When I saw him in real
Afterward.
life, I almost cried.
Yeah, we did see him. Yes, the next women's time because they can only have one time for women.
And it's always at like the 8:30 like dead spot before the main event.
So there was Tony Storm with Ruby Soho versus Sky Blue for the AEW Women's World Title.
Sky Blue is awesome. That's
She
first and
She is.
foremost.
so well.
I love her.
She deserved this so much.
No, I really like her. Also, the Outcasts are so much better without Soraya there. I think they should permanently replace her with the cardboard cutout.
They
Yeah,
were like
absolutely.
incredibly better.
Yeah, they have about the same amount of personality.
And the cutout does not yell all the time.
Which is nice. I like it when people can convey their promos without constantly screaming.
Sky Blue's really good. Tony Storm is good at wrestling. I always forget that. She's like,
yeah,
she's done this a long time.
She's been wrestling since she was 13 years old.
Wow. Ruby says, fun fact, women finally outrank men named John in Fortune 500 companies. I didn't know that, but I believe it. That's cool. Congratulations, women. We owe all our lives to women.
Women.
Yeah, let's give it up for women. For $1, name a woman.
Lining out.
For $1, name a woman.
Who's that?
Either one of you.
Okay, I'll do Mercedes Monet.
I'll do.
All right, we have
$1.
For me, I'm gonna pick Jade Cargill.
Nice.
Okay.
I think she's on vacation right now. Good for her.
Oh, she deserves a vacation, that woman.
Sasha can't name a woman.
Sasha can't name one. She's like
Texas.
Dang.
Wow, shame. Ada, name a woman. She's purring. Which I think that's a good sign, but also you didn't name one.
Disc.
Chat, name a woman.
Wait,
while we're continue talking, name one.
it's less than 7 minutes.
Yes,
What
it
the
was
fuck?
6:59.
Wow, that is some straight misogyny, Ada. Left as we were
Oh my
talking
God.
about women.
Whoa, Ada, whoa.
Whoa, Ada, whoa. That's a bit I miss. I miss that bit. Anna, why did you leave Dark Order?
Yes.
It's a shame that this match was so short. I remember, like, I was, like, really out of it and just, like, not paying attention for most of the show. And then this match came on, and I was like, ooh, yay! And I got, like, really, like, I got invested in the show again, and it was short.
Because, like,
Yeah.
obviously they do something like that. Why would they have an actual women's match on the show? They wouldn't.
But it was a
However,
really good
Rampage
match.
is gonna have one, so yay.
Ruby has, like, a spray on her belt, and I just think that's fun. And also, Sky had, like, the blue spray paint hidden somewhere, and she sprayed Tony in the face.
I was gonna ask you in this podcast. Wheeler.
Not very well.
Me, what's happening? Sorry. Someone is messaging me on Twitter.
Can we play music on this podcast?
For a very brief period of time. If you think that you
Like-
can fit what you want us to hear in, like, 5 seconds, go for it.
Willow.
Such a banger song.
She showed up at the end, which was great because I do love Willow.
I was so excited to see her because she's just so perfect. And hey, technically, they did give us a New Japan person.
Yes, I know. I was hoping that they would give us like someone from Stardom or one of the two women New Japan. I think I forget if they have two women signed. They have two people listed on their rosters. But since Mercedes Monet is currently injured, can't do that. So hopefully they'll have a match for Tony for Forbidden Door. But it was so good seeing Willow.
It was.
She's so
Mhm.
good.
Yeah. Yeah. Is Riho like injured or something right now?
No,
Like, is there?
we said she did the dark match.
Oh yeah, you're right. She did. Remember when Riho was involved in this storyline?
Riho makes everything better. I will say.
It's true.
I love
Yeah.
her.
And all of her outfits were so good, and she had the socks that said "Best Boss Ever."
She is.
So good.
No one can outboss
I miss her.
every day.
What?
When will she return from the war?
What a shame that Riho died.
No. Riho.
Sorry, ma'am. It's a shame.
Oh goodness.
But it was a
But,
good match. I was
it
kind of sad
was.
with the whole the bit at the end where like I knew like Sky wasn't going to win, but like there was that whole thing with like the pain, like she was going to win, kind of, and then the ref was distracted again after not being distracted or something. Am I mixing this up with another match, or did that happen?
No, there was a ref spot.
No, you're right.
Ref spots
Yeah.
irk me.
Yeah, like Sky pinned Tony, and then Ruby like distracted the ref while she was doing that.
Yeah, I don't like that stuff. It's kind of annoying because it happens all the time, and I'm like, I feel like
Yeah.
this is a strategy that should not be employed this often because you would think after a while the refs, despite the fact that every ref ever born suffers from short-term memory loss, would figure out eventually that some chicanery is happening. No.
Yeah, like I think like they did a couple of spots like that with Jade Cargill before she lost the TBS championship, and I think like showing that she was defeatable when she was like built up like that was a good thing and all, but I feel like in this situation it just like doesn't really help much.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the Outcasts have this weird problem where the heel part of them, and they constantly say like, "Oh, they're heels. They use their numbers to outnumber the opponents," and then they have like 10 enemies, and there's 2 to 3 of them at any given time, and it's like, yeah, this doesn't. You need a different story to tell.
Uh-huh. Also, the website that I'm looking at with the like match information, I just noticed says winner and still AEW World Women's Champion Sky Blue.
Yeah, let's
You
go
know it.
Sky.
Still.
Oh my god. I love that. That's perfect. Let's just lie. But I do like Tony. I do like Tony. So I'm
I
not,
also like Tony.
upset.
I wish Tony was not in this awful faction. But
It literally, this is really just proved that I'm like, if they just cut out Soraya, I would actually enjoy this.
I would love this because I
Yeah.
love both of
Crazy.
them.
I didn't think that. I thought it was like, nah, the Outcast would suck no matter what. And then Soraya wasn't here for 2 weeks, and I was like,
Actually,
damn.
yeah, they're
Actually,
kind of good actually.
yeah, fuck. So that's upsetting. That's really upsetting. That makes me even more angry because I'm like,
Yeah. You have two amazing female wrestlers and one very very loud female wrestler.
it's completely unnecessary. It's very irritating.
You know, one of the best things about Tony, and definitely one of the best things about Ruby, their songs, their themes.
Yeah,
Christ,
their
I miss
themes
them
I'm
are
so
so
sad we don't
much.
get to hear them.
Oh god, I miss their
Okay,
themes.
and then there was
so
the
much.
Jungle Boy proposed live on television.
Yes.
Oh, I'm gonna be the ring bearer at the
Let's
wedding.
go, gay people. Yes. Jack accepts Sonata's offer and is like, and asks Hook to second him. We love Pride Month.
So good. Yay.
You know what? At first, I was a little like, Jack is the one who's fighting him, and I realized I made
Do
that
not
reaction in error.
include bias.
I feel like it's gonna be a good match. I think it's gonna be fun, and people are being really, really bitchy about it on Twitter.
Yeah,
But, like, it's
like,
Twitter.
contrary
Christ,
to popular belief, Jungle Boy is an amazing wrestler, and he is
yeah.
very fun. And it's like, well, this match doesn't make sense. Dude, Sonata and Jungle Boy are having a who's more sexy off. What more do you need?
They're having a handsome off.
They're having a
okay?
handsome boy moment, okay? Just let them
Yeah,
do their thing.
They are the like teen heartthrob wrestlers for the girls and the gays.
That is true.
If you don't get it, then the match just isn't for you, and that's okay.
Sometimes matches aren't for you, and you have to accept that.
But personally, this is just me desperately hoping that they bring all 5 guys, and I get to see. I get to see them.
Just 5 guys.
5 guys, and I get to see them, and I get to see them interact with Hook on the outside, and I will live for it.
Oh, Ruby, your
Totally
flight got
screws
delayed.
me.
I'm sorry.
Oh
That
shit!
sucks.
Oh.
Additionally,
London.
what?
Oh, sorry. Huh? Nothing.
I was just gonna say one more thing because I need to say this out loud so it's on video documented thing because this is my biggest belief and this is also about the weird hate that Jungle Boy has. Y'all don't hate Jungle Boy for any real reason. You hate him because he's not Danhausen.
Yeah.
It's
he's what now?
because he's not Danhausen.
Mm-hmm.
People
There's
hate
some
Jungle Boy with like such deep vitriol for seemingly no reason because there is no real reason because it's not like he's done anything. I don't think. I don't know. I don't fucking know the guy. He just seems like some guy. And it's like you just hate him because he's not the little kooky gremlin that you write stuff about. And it's like, I get why you like Danhausen, but like, Danhausen and Jungle Boy aren't comparable. So it's like, why would you be angry at one guy for not being another guy when the whole point is
Also,
that they're completely different?
Like multiple friends.
He has 2 hands.
He has, exactly. Jungle Hookhausen is a thing that could happen when Danhausen comes back. However, I still think people will be terrible about it and they'll be like, but we should just get rid of Jungle Boy because Jungle Boy sucks. I want my little guys together. And it's like, I want to know what it's rooted in. I want to know why because it's weird to me. And I'm just like, what did he do to hurt you?
It's bizarre.
I can't explain anything on Twitter, but I can be the voice of opposition and say why I don't like Jack Perry.
Please do.
Why don't
actually.
you
I'd love
like
to know.
Jack Perry?
I really liked him in Jurassic Express, and I really love his theme, and I always dance to it and everything, and it's really cool. And I get excited when I see him sometimes, and like he's a good wrestler. But because of the 4 pillars thing, I've been told so many times like, oh, he's the only light in this 4 pillars thing. And I was like, no, he's really boring in this as well. It's just a really boring feud.
See, that's the
And I
problem.
think I was told so many times.
I understand that completely. That was the problem with the 4 Pillars feud because they kept telling us for like years, like these guys are like holding it up. They're gonna be the new generation. They're great. They're perfect. We love them. When in reality, it's like not only have all of them been portrayed very differently and had very different amount of screen times and wins divided amongst the 4 of them, they're just not. I don't know why we came up with this lie for ourselves to be like, we have the 4 pillars. This is a thing. Because it's not a thing. It is a fabricated thing of our minds that we made up. And especially in that feud, it's very obvious that it was made up because it's like, these are just 4 random young men. Just 4 guys! 4 random young men!
4 guys. They will never be just 4 guys. They will never have the icon.
5 guys.
Iconic of just 4 guys.
But it's like,
You know, Veal Pillar? Yeah.
true.
Locker room leader.
Destroyer of ratings. She absolutely Triple H murderer.
Now, like, I think maybe at some point when the company was much smaller, those 4 were like, you know, down for all, but it's just not true anymore.
Yeah, because there's so much new talent that are like truly putting in their all right now. And it's like they're so
Mm-hmm.
interesting and compelling and they're doing so many things. And this is no knock. Well, it's a knock on half of the pillars because I don't even like half of them. But like from a, I guess, general standpoint, it's like, well, they all do stuff, I guess. I don't know. But like in comparison to each other, they're just, I know normally I say this as like a complimentary thing. Like literally the reason Best Friends are my favorite tag team of all time is because they're just two fucking guys, two random ass men. But
Just you guys.
it's just two guys.
Two
Just
guys.
two guys,
Hey,
best friends, nothing
that's
else between
also
them.
the tag team name of apparently Titan and Sonata.
Exactly. But I mean that in a complimentary way because they're just two guys that I feel like you would meet on the street, whereas like the idea of Jack Perry, like the character, like Jungle Boy, I don't think I would meet him in real life. I don't think he is a real person. Obviously, because he's not. Like, the actual Jack Perry.
What
who,
are you
like,
talking about? I saw that man.
That's true. He did stand right next to you.
He was he was less than 5 feet away from me. And August.
It's like,
nice hair.
I don't know why they don't let him just, like, be himself. Because, like, if you've ever seen his episode of A Shot of Brandy, it's so funny because the whole time it's just him fucking with Brandy. He's like, I put the metal spoon in the microwave. That's okay, right? And she's like, no. And he's like, chill. I didn't even do it. What are you doing? What are you talking about? Like, he's literally like that dude. Like in real life, he's like chill. And I assume from what I've seen, I don't fucking know the guy. I feel like I have to say that all the time. I don't know the guy, but it's like from clips and photos that you see, it's just like he's like the kid in your class named Kyle who like is like, it's just a prank, bro. It's fine. What are you even on about? Dude, this is funny. Check out this video I have where he's like just like a little fluffy frat boy. And it's like, why don't you just go with that instead of it being like, he's so, I don't know. I don't even know what he is. He's just guy.
He is
Okay.
Guy with no flavor. As someone
So
who
I've got
adores Jungle Boy, that is.
I know the pillars thing is over, but I'm just going to talk about it because we're talking about it.
Oh, why not?
Okay, pillars is a misnomer, right? That's a stupid name because a pillar is something that is structurally supportive, right?
Yeah.
Hangman is a pillar. Kenny is a pillar. What they mean
Sakura.
is
Emi Sakura.
And I don't have a one word for this, right? But what they mean is someone who has supported us from the beginning, who is also underappreciated. That is what they mean.
Yeah.
And they chose stupid people for that too. But that's what they're going for. But the word pillar doesn't mean that.
Right. So I guess it's just a poor naming venture on their part, but additionally it's like guy who has held us up from the beginning and is like overlooked when that is just simply not true for 3 of the 4 of them, because MJF has been in big feuds and is literally the world champion right now. Like he has been at it. Sammy was paired with Chris Jericho from day one and has been on TV all the time, much to many people's dismay. He's been a 3-time TNT champion. Darby's been a 2-time TNT champion, is literally paired up with Sting and like doing all this shit. And then there's Jack, who like was about to be murdered by Christian Cage, and then his dinosaur friend left him. And then I don't know, Marco Stunt got eaten by a fucking velociraptor. I don't know what happened to him. He's in the 4th hospital bed next to Cody's Shaq and fucking Regal. He's in the 4th bed. This room keeps growing as they wheel more people in. And it's just
what
like,
do you mean Shaq Regal 4th bed?
What?
What do you mean Shaq Regal 4th bed?
They're all in the same
They're
together.
all in the same room because it's Shaq, Regal, the 3rd guy
Cody.
that who? Cody Rhodes is the 3rd bed, and then Marco Stunt is the 4th bed, and they all live in the same hospital room together because they're all dying.
Okay, I didn't count Cody.
Yeah,
Cody's
like
dead.
I think
He's just in a coma.
Yeah.
Jungle Boy's
Coma
character worked really well when he was with Jurassic Express and he was a boy and his dinosaur, and it was like this, like, you know, cute friendship. He rides out on Luchasaurus's shoulders and all that. And I do get the impression that like Jack Perry is trying to have more of like a serious character because he can't stay Jungle Boy forever. He will become Jungle Man eventually.
He will
And
become Jungle
like
Law.
yeah, and like I can respect that like he doesn't want to be like shoehorned into this character that he's been doing for years and he wants to like move on and all that, but I feel like he just like hasn't found his footing yet with like the new evolved Jack Perry adult Jungle Man.
Yeah.
And like I think he'll find it eventually, and I do like him a lot. Um, it's just like right now he's not doing anything that I'm like super invested in.
I guess what I was trying to like communicate earlier isn't that I dislike Jungle Boy. It's that I like Jungle Jacks. It's just I'm also really annoyed with him at the moment.
Yeah, fair.
Yeah, I don't know. At least for me, I think Jack is one of those like if I were to like rank wrestlers, like I'd say he's like B tier maybe or
He's
like A.
solid.
Like he's like
But
good. He's
not
enjoyable.
like
I have fun with him, but he's not very like ooh, like his character is so fascinating, so interesting, and I just want to talk about it forever. He's very like he's there and he's very pleasant, and I don't think he really puts out like bad matches, which I really like. Because I feel
he's
like at least what
reliable
yeah, he's reliable,
in
and like
ring.
where I'm seeing with his characters that he is like Hook has a belt, even though it's FTW and it's not like a
It's
real
not
belt.
real.
But like he still has a belt, and he's hanging out with him, and he's trying to like be a singles person. He obviously didn't get the world champion ship belt or whatever, so he's a little like struggling, and so I guess he's gonna go and try to get another world champion belt, and he's gonna obviously fail at that. And I think his character is very much gonna be like, I'm really desperately trying to be good, but I just keep sucking and I'm not happy about it. Which I think is like, I think it works for what he's trying to do, which is try to like break out and really establish himself as like a solid singles competitor. So at least for him, I'm like, I do enjoy his story. It's not like fascinating, but I'm like, I think it's working fine with what he's wanting to tell a story, and I think he's telling it well.
Yeah.
I
just
I
hope,
think it's not the highlight,
but
but
it's
it's
a
nice.
thing. It's also not the worst thing that's happening on the
Yeah.
show. So like, kudos to you for not doing the
So
worst thing.
so I don't know, which is why I'm like I'm not mad that he's facing Sonata as much as
Because
I'm
it'll be
like
a good
sure.
match.
Yeah, it'll be what it's supposed to be, and I'm happy about that because I feel like a part of me was like, well, I thought it'd be someone more of the caliber of like another person who has been world champion or someone who has been at that level. And though Jack hasn't been there, like I feel like it's supposed to be a story where he's gonna fail. So
Which is good because failure breeds a lot of amazing stories. I mean, what do you think the elite do all the time? Fail.
they love to lose.
They love to
Um,
lose.
but yeah, so after that, if anyone else has anything to say on the whole, all that jazz.
Yeah, what to say about Jungle Boy?
All that
I don't
jazz.
know. I like the Jungle Jacks.
Hmm?
Jungle Jacks.
It is funny.
I think
He has so
MJF
many
calls him
versions.
Jungle Jack. That's one of his nicknames for him. Because, they
Yeah.
have that weird sexual tension. Yeah.
But yeah, all right. Then afterwards, they announced the collision matches. Miro
Collision's
in.
like not cooking, if I'm being real.
I mean, I personally can't watch it live just because I have other things going on, but I'll probably catch a little bit of it. So Miro will be in action. Personally, don't really care about Miro. Don't think I ever will. Sorry to be harsh to him. Sky Blue and Willow are going against Ruby and Tony.
That'll be fun.
That
The single
what?
women's match that they're allowed, because remember, can't have more than one women's match. And then Andrade El Ida. How do you say the last part of it?
Andrade El Idolo.
Idolo. Versus Buddy Matthews.
That'll be actually good.
I am interested in Andrade. I haven't seen him a ton, so.
He's gonna come out and he's gonna do that sexy thing where he takes off the thing and then pulls off his suit.
Which is beautiful. Love
Which
it.
is great.
And then Wardlow and Luchasaurus. Oh, right. I completely forgot that they did actually set up a match from that. I didn't remember.
Let
So
Source win,
yeah.
it would be funny. Fuck it,
Yeah,
we're
so-
hot potatoing the title all over the
So,
place. Put it on Dinosaur.
those are at least all the like new matches that they announced for Collision. Obviously, they still have the main event already stated from last week with Tony Khan. And then there was the main event of Dynamite.
The best part of the show. By a mile.
Young Bucks versus BCC with Bryan Danielson on commentary.
I love Bryan Danielson on commentary. He's always just like so weird.
He makes it his mission to be as like strange as possible. I love every time someone starts doing this, he just screams elbow over and over again. It's
elbow,
like,
elbow.
It brings him so much joy.
Oh, he's marvelous. He loves his little guys. I don't have a lot of notes during the match because I was just watching the match.
Fair.
So like literally it was chaos though. I loved it. It was very much just everyone going after each other, which is my favorite thing in the world.
Yeah.
And a lot of
The-
like dangerous times.
The Young Bucks had their cowboy hats
They
and their
did.
bandanas.
I love the Cowboy Brothers. They had their outfits and then Adam's like little handkerchief with the task. God, it was so gorgeous. And I cried and I was emotional about it and it was perfect.
I love twinning. I love when like teams like to look like each other.
Yeah.
So supportive. So cute. But just gorgeous violence, beautiful violence. I loved it. It was wonderful. No notes. And then the Hung Bucks won with Adam pinning Yuta after the Young Bucks did the BT trigger, and then Adam did his buckshot lariat, and it was all collaborative and wonderful. And
it was great. I loved
Yuta,
it.
of course, is the one taking the L.
Because he's small
Yeah.
and he's frail. Obviously.
Yeah,
because he's the young
I'm
one.
divided because like I get that like Wheeler Yuta always takes the pin because he's like the youngest one in the group and he's the trainee and all. Sable is trying very hard to move my laptop.
She's on a mission.
And she is. Yeah, like he's the young one and all that. I wish he didn't always have to take the pin, but also if he doesn't get like domed by big men, then he will die.
True.
It's
That is
true.
very true.
It's interesting though because like it feels, at least to me, and I don't think that this is the route that they're going because it would be very foolish if they did this. Anthony Khan, I know you're watching. Heed my warning, because it feels like, because it felt like we were kind of getting past this, you know, where it was like, oh, Yuta loses all the matches for his team, and like they whip him back into shape. They literally fucking BDSM him back into being a good, strong Philadelphian boy, so like 26 or whatever.
Yeah. He did pin Kenny Omega that one
He
time.
did pin Kenny Omega in the main event of Double or Nothing, but like,
And
like
then he pinned Chuck, or right? Am I wrong?
I think it was Rocky.
Or...
He
That's
tapped out
true.
Rocky.
John made, but like Chuck, Yuta was doing shit with Chuck.
Oh, he was hitting him until he passed out with the elbow.
Yeah.
But like,
I know he was doing violence.
He's so evil. No, he's a good boy, and he's never done anything bad never in his life. But like, it kind of felt like we were past this, because like he, you know, like the story was, like he is like the weak link a little bit, but like not out of him being bad, just out of like him being young, and he needs to be trained and BDSM kink clubbed into being a good boy. And look, now he's a great master. Look, didn't I do so great for you, Brian? Don't you love me, Brian? Look, I'm finally lovable for you. Please, I did so good. I pinned Kenny Omega in the main event of Double or Nothing, and they were like, wow, he's so perfect. We always believed in him. We love him. Look at his perfect little hair. We want to pet him like a dog. And then they just decided, actually, he still sucks, and he's gonna lose. Because obviously Claudio would never lose, because he's an alien who's gorgeous and amazing and tall and smart and fast and speaks 5 languages. And John is John Moxley. He's the best wrestler ever of all time. He's like the ace of our company. He's perfect. And then Brian doesn't wrestle because he's always on commentary instead of being like, hey Okada, or like something like that, you know? It's like, no, we have to backtrack. And it feels like in them backtracking, it's like, you know,
Well, what was the
actually, what?
it's like, well, what was the point of all that?
I don't know if
why
it's
would you give...
backtracking though, because like I don't think the story is that they're like, oh, Yuta is great now, and like we raised him and he's good. Because like even on commentary, Brian was like at one point like I would have like he should have kicked out of that faster, or
Well,
like
that I
whatever.
know, and I get like the
And
whole thing is like,
I don't know. I feel like the BCC is always like you always have to be getting better. You're never going to be like perfect. You know, they're all about like knives sharpening each other, whatever the hell
like iron
their
sharpens
ideas are.
iron.
Yeah. So like I don't know. At least like I feel like Yuta is not gonna just magically like be like never get pinned again.
No, and that's not what
Um
I'm trying to say. I was leading into it being like, you know, like he, no matter how much they try to breed the like insecurities and badness
They're
out of this
breeding.
kid, they're breeding him, yes.
you know the BCC
They
is.
would. Um, as much as they're like trying to help this kid along, like, you know, there's always going to be some level of failure with all wrestlers. And it's like when you have such a when you have like a higher point than another person, and it's like, oh, well, you know, I made it to this point, you just ignore how you got there, and it's just like, well, this guy's not doing very well. And I have this fear that it's going to be like, actually, you know, Yuta, doesn't matter how much we do for you, you suck. We're going to replace you with somebody else. You can get out of here, you little monster. And it's like, I hope they don't do that. I don't think that they will. I don't think that that's what's happening. I think they're just going to continue to be like, iron sharpens iron, we're going to fix you, you're going to be great. When in reality, I feel like that's kind of a flawed system to begin with, where it's like, I understand that like you want to train each other to be the best version of yourself that you can be, but eventually it comes to a point when that is like kind of destructive, where it's like you're striving so much for greatness that it's like you don't see what you've already attained, and that like sometimes being like, you know, I am happy and content in who I am. I know I could get better, and I will slowly throughout time, as it's supposed to happen to me. I can't force it on myself. I don't know. I have maybe this is because I'm too much of a Hangman Page stan, but like I'm of the opinion that it's like at some point you just gotta call it, where you're like, I am fucking happy with myself right now.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, to be honest, I agree with you because I feel like what the BCC is, they're doing a story that I like, which is basically you take a young person and you teach them arrogance and you teach them that they should think of themselves as this great, brilliant wrestler, and then you throw them out into the world, and guess what?
They are not.
They lose. Like that's the story with him and Shibata is that he's like he learned,
He learned the hard
ego
way.
and he called out Shibata because he's like, the BCC taught me to be great. I'm the best now. And then he lost.
And then he
badly.
died in like 11
and
minutes.
It was beautiful. It was gorgeous. I love that story. So like, I don't know. I feel like that is the story that is being told with Wheeler Yuta, is that they can make him better, but at the same time, they're teaching him good things, but they're also teaching him bad things. And I like that. I so far am like still very pleased with his story.
I am too. I think it's great that like he's improved. So obviously I have a soft spot for him, so I'm going to talk about it all the time, and it's probably incredibly annoying and like, I don't know, parasocial of me or something. Whatever, I don't care. Just let me be happy for a second.
Don't listen to the haters.
Yeah, I'll try not to. But it's like, I don't know, it's really nice to see someone that like you care about. Actually, is this what it's like to have a wrestler that you like that's like consistently on TV and like good and portrayed as like pretty good, aside from like being pinned occasionally because that's a part of the story or whatever? Is that what it's like? Because I've never experienced this before. I don't know. I think it's nice, and Anthony Khan, I know that you're still watching. If I had the pencil, I think the perfect mix, because he still uses that damn seatbelt. He still obviously cares in some amount of way, because you don't treat someone with that much hatred if you don't have some kind of feeling about them. It's like he needs to mix the two worlds together, and I feel like that is how he would blossom the most. That's not the story they'll ever tell, but like it'd be kind of cool if he's like, you know, I can be the best wrestler I can possibly be, but also I can treat people with kindness sometimes. Sometimes murdering people by being a good person is even more evil. Aha, whatever. I don't know what I'm talking about. Just talk about the match. I'm done.
Can I ask questions? Because I have questions.
I'm afraid. Go for it.
Okay, I've been thinking of questions since we started talking. This is me. That's what I do. So I guess you're concerned about Wheeler getting pinned. Is like, to me, you said like three separate things that were like, basically, with wrestling talk, I'd say there's like diegetic talk, which is like in story talk. There's non-diegetic, like this is what we think about the story. This is like where the story's going. This is meta. And then there's like real life, like ideology talk. And you said things that were like, I guess I didn't understand very well because it kind of like split all three of them.
Yeah, and as I'm thinking about it, I realized I explained myself very poorly in such a way that it was negative, especially with the way that it was just stated, where it's like you are worried about like this very stupid and dumb thing, and I recognize that, so I'm good. You can just ignore all that.
Oh, I like hearing your thoughts on Wheeler. You're really passionate about him.
Yeah, I shouldn't be.
Okay.
Well, I love wrestling, so I think it's wrong to say that people shouldn't be passionate about that stuff. Passion about all this stuff is fun and exciting, and I love getting to share it with my friends.
Okay, Wheeler. I'm gonna tell you some ideology from Maple here right now, right? The best thing for me in the world is interest. And I love being interested in things. I love being interested in what my friends say. So if I'm interested in what you say and I think it's interesting, I might ask a lot of questions.
Yeah, I know.
But that's a sign that I'm like interested. And it's okay if you want to move on. But I might bring this up later.
I mean, that's fine.
Okay.
Well,
So
I was just gonna say what happened next after Yuta getting pinned.
Yeah, go for it. Because the last 5 minutes is the most important part.
It was
Mhm.
wild. I just remember watching it and literally Wheeler and I looking at each other like, why the hell are there 5 minutes left in this?
You came and sat on the same couch as me, and we like held each other because we were like, "What's happening?" And then out comes Edward.
Yes.
It just kept on happening.
Eddie Kingston entered the ring and I was like, my man, he's back. I was so fucking happy. And then it was just for him to show up and be like, Claudio, I hate you. I just wanted to show up to remind you how much I fucking hate you.
Ah, it's
I loved it.
perfect. Utter haterness. So good.
And then him and Mox obviously are having issues.
Kingston, like, didn't show up to help anyone at the end of that. She just showed up to cause problems.
I respect it so much.
I love the emotion in their eyes where you can see Kingston like do the spinning backhand on Claudio and Claudio falls away and then he like turns around and there's Jon Moxley and you can see them both flash back to that traumatic moment where those bombs went off all around them. And Kingston's on Moxley's head. And it was so scary for both of them.
Terrifying.
Look, in storyline, it's supposed to be a really emotional moment.
Hey, babe.
Suspension of disbelief.
Oh god, yeah. Yep. Cause like I don't fully remember everything because like a lot was happening all at once. Cause like I think next was Konosuke, right? And
Yeah, I think he came out next.
Cause like and then he was like trying to like beat up the elite and everything, and like it was all like whose side is everyone on, and then Kenny comes out and then he's trying to help people, and like Konosuke is obviously like fuck you Kenny, and then who shows up? A British man, and it gets all even more messy because Will Ospreay comes out and then he attacks Kenny and
The
then
Bill Ocean Spray.
it's all messy and hell, and I love it. It was beautiful, and they should do that more. I love mess. Well,
Does
I
Will
mean, good mess.
Ospreay own anything other than gray sweatpants? Because I
No.
feel like
think
that's the
so.
only thing I ever see him wear.
I feel like sometimes he has nice outfits for like
Like
press conferences,
and stuff.
but like other than that, nah.
It's just gray sweatpants and white t-shirts.
He is a British man, and he's very irritating. So yes, his new T-shirt, guys. Bro.
Bruv.
Bro, it's so fucking ugly. Why did they do that?
Ah, God, because he says it all the fucking time.
No, but you can stylize it to make it not look ugly.
But it's to reflect the inner person of Will Ospreay.
Okay, fair.
Ugly and annoying.
Here's what Will Ospreay needs. He needs like a boob window in the shirt so that it can reflect the inner person.
The titties are the
And then it
eyes.
says bruv under that. I think, okay, just the bruv shirt is uninspired, but bruv plus titty window, now we're talking.
Could you?
Now,
It's like it has the B and the V, but like the titty window is in the middle, so it's just like, but is it boobies? I don't know. I don't think that would work very well. Honestly, the I'm picturing. Have you seen that picture of Big E wearing the Kofi Kingston shirt, but like the eyes are cut out for his little titties?
I haven't, and I need to.
It was a very funny photo. It's very good.
Can someone find that and post that? That'd be awesome.
Also, I'm looking at the match times now because I'm like, oh, we're technically nearly done. But like literally crazy ass stuff. I'm gonna do math because I am curious. But I think all the matches. So there were 5 matches, and I think if you total all the ones that weren't MJF and Adam Cole, they don't add up to how long that match was. No, they were. They were like 3 minutes longer.
Okay. So that means
But
we
still.
had like an hour of wrestling and an hour of not wrestling on the show. Okay. I guess
So
that's
it's
better
30
than like 20 minutes of wrestling
At
on
least
a 2-hour show.
it's better than like a Fed show, at least.
Exactly. Like you watch 3 hours of Raw and you maybe watched like 45 minutes of
Like
wrestling.
15 minutes of wrestling.
Yeah.
I'd like
That's
to point out that the MJF match was only slightly longer than 4 times the length of the women's match.
That's crazy.
Only slightly longer than 4 times.
Yeah, that's great. Oh, goodness. But like personally, the main event, I greatly enjoyed it, and I'm just really excited. And Kenny literally loves to lie face down on that mat so fucking much.
He's dying.
Face down, up.
I love the entire like, oh, I'm gonna do a Northern Light suplex train, and they do it for like 10 minutes, and then someone interrupts it, and then Brian on commentary is like, "You fucking idiots! You didn't even go for a pin."
Matt Jackson to do the Northern Lights suplexes so that he has a chance to show his ass to the camera.
Exactly. There's no other
It's
reason.
very important. Oh, goodness. But yeah, the only other things I have written down in my notes are the Rampage matches and the Dynamite matches that they've announced.
Dude, Rampage actually looks kind of baller again. They had a sleeper week and now it looks baller again. Not like I'm gonna watch it, but like, hey, Rampage is cooking Collision right now.
Yeah, I will be watching it because, one, as though I have mixed feelings on the like Jay Lethal, Jeff Jarrett, Karen Jarrett, Aubrey Edwards, Mark Briscoe, and Papa Briscoe thing. I'm
That's
also
the
like,
most wild match ever, but at the same
I kind of
time,
have to check it out. I kind of have to check it out.
Definitely tuning in for that. There's no way I'm missing that one.
because
I
that
hope
sounds
so.
wild.
So old. I hope he's so old.
I don't even know. And then we got Taya Valkyrie and Trish Adora, and I really like Trish Adora, so I'm happy. And then we got Chaos.
But it's technically
versus
chaos.
They are technically Chaos and United Empire. boo United Empire. Though they do have Kyle there, and I do like Kyle. So
It's like, all right, we got Kyle, and then we have the other two.
yeah, they are all on different ranks of how I feel. And then we have Konosuke Takeshita and Bandito.
That
which
one's gonna
would
be
that's
so
gonna be
good.
good.
Tell me
So-
the chaos match, the United Empire. It's a trios match. Is the United Empire tag team not there? They're like Ozzy.
Yeah, so Mark Davis, one half of Aussie Open, is injured right now. So it is Jeff Cobb, Kyle Fletcher, and Will Ospreay. They're all in United Empire, which is the faction.
Jeff Cobb, that one lady in St. Louis's favorite wrestler.
Yeah,
Lord,
you're
how
right.
can we Pink Shirt?
What's up, Pink Shirt? Shout out to you if you're watching.
Shout out to Pink Shirt.
know.
That was iconic.
She loved Jeff Cobb. She loved AR Fox.
Sammy Guevara.
Sammy
Kenny
Guevara.
Omega.
No, she
I
was against Kenny.
Stood back and you could hear her yelling.
It was loud.
I remember, like, we were all so sleep delirious by, like, the 4th hour, by, like, the second tapings of ROH, that, like, our entire row were just, like, laughing our asses off anytime she would say something, and then the people across the room, like, would start chanting, like, shut up, Pink Shirt. All of us were giggling. All of
He
us.
is the new Guerrero.
So good.
Yeah, and then so far, at least for Dynamite next week, we just have Matt Hardy, the Hardys versus the Guns, and the Shibata Cassidy Garcia Saber match.
It's gonna be so good. So
which
that
is
should be the main event,
it's
because it's
gonna-
perfect.
wow. Beautiful, gorgeous. And I personally am only hoping for more Forbidden Door stuff because New Japan has 2 shows over the weekend. They have their Saturday and Sunday show, then they don't have any shows until after New Japan or Forbidden Door, and they will be airing they will be airing that Dynamite live for their Japanese audience, like on New Japan World, which means shit is gonna go down. Shit is gonna go down.
Something's gonna happen.
If they're like, hey, you guys need to watch this, then you better have stuff. I need people. I need Okada.
Give me the Rainmaker.
I
Make the
need
little
him to
coin
show
sound.
up and be like, Brian, and just be like, I need
Like,
it.
hey, little bro, how you doing?
Oh God, so
All of the like people finding like really stupid pictures of Okada and Bryan Danielson.
It's so
it's
good.
beautiful.
It's so
It's
good.
beautiful. The world is coming together. Oh my God, but I'm literally just like Forbidden Door is so close and I'm so excited. And so far they haven't put any matches that have pissed me off, which is great.
All bangers, no misses so far.
But I'm still scared about Hiromu. I'm afraid they're gonna try to pin him with Darby again, and I'm just gonna like scream loudly in anger.
Maybe
They're
we'll
gonna try to hurt
escape
me.
and they'll do something smarter with their time.
Yeah. Whatever. What do I know?
But if you have anything else to talk about at all, sounds like we're winding down.
Yeah, I think that's it.
I think that's it.
Alrighty. In that case, I turn to you. Hi. We'll probably be back. Hi. Hey, we'll probably be back next week. There's a good chance. Maybe it'll be on Thursday like it usually would be. Maybe it won't. I don't really know. That's pretty far in the future, and I'm not a planner. But thank you so much for watching. If you were here for 2 minutes or 2 hours, that is greatly appreciated. The cat has appeared.
Kid.
I hope this was an enjoyable episode for the few of you that were here. It was definitely the episode of all time.
Hey, we had in-depth discussion over Michael, and that is always the most important thing.
Well, I think that's crazy to me that that's probably the thing we talked about most this week was Michael.
Sammy Guevara.
Samuel Guevara and Michael are the 2 people we talked about most, and I don't think any of us even really like either of them. That's
my
wild.
my insights into Michael were so like pristine this time that I feel so good about it.
And it's going to be a running joke now, forever.
He is the next Cody Rhodes.
He is
He
the
is
next
Cody
Rhodes.
Rhodes, reincarnated
He's got
Cody
adrenaline.
Rhodes.
in his soul.
In
He's
my
got
soul.
testosterone in his soul. He's gonna solve transphobia. Thank you, Michael.
Somebody get me in contact with Downstate. I think we can do something here.
We're
He
gonna
does
make
need
a
new things.
It does.
But thank you all so much for watching. We're gonna do the outro together, as we always do, because on the podcast I don't do the long intro, but you know how it goes. Say it with me if you know it. Well, at this moment, I must bid you all adieu.
Adieu.
And this is goodbye,
Bye.
mwah, and good night.
Night.
Bang!
Bang.
Okay, thanks. Love you. Bye.